London climate professor, only way to stop climate change is culling of the human population by pandemic with a very high fatality rate. She said the quiet part out loud. University College London professor and geophysical and climate hazards Bill McGuire posted a controversial message to social media on Saturday appearing to support mass depopulation. Bingo! And then the same guy, Bill Gates, who does TED Talks, like, we need to get the human population down to zero. And maybe with vaccines and viruses, we can do it. And he right there says it to the people like, we're going to kill you. And then the crowd's like, ooh, ha, ha, ha. And then he does it. And he wants to block out the sun, the giver of life. And so here is the Bill Gates-backed high-altitude experiment. Their solution to climate change is changing the climate in clip 2.
Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical climate change solution, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the Earth. It's called solar geoengineering, and it's highly controversial.
How long will it be that countries keep experiencing these climate impacts before someone gets desperate and says, hey, we need to cool the planet with solar geoengineering?
It would look something like this. Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of light-reflecting particles into the stratosphere. It would create a thin chemical cloud of those particles around the whole planet, blocking some sunlight from reaching the surface. It would mimic a giant volcanic eruption, which we know cools the Earth.
Chemtrails. And they present this to you like, oh, it's not already going on. It is already going on. You can see the lines in the sky. This freak. So they admit it. They don't even hide it, folks. Everything is right there. But it's the old hide it in plain sight. They already engage in geoengineering. They engage in man-made climate change. They engage in chemtrails. This is already happening. But the big lie is that they want to save the planet. Look, once you understand how these people think, by the way, this is right out of dystopian films like 12 Monkeys. This is right out of dystopian films like what's that movie when they're on the train in the ice? Snowpiercer. Thank you, crew. So it's like. This is already in these dystopian films. This is what they're going to do. Call the population with a virus, take control, spray chemicals into the sky to stop climate change, man-made climate change. But see, nobody talks about that. They say, oh, man-made climate change, your cow farted. Oh, man-made climate change, you had a steak. Oh, man-made climate change, you drive a car. No, it's them literally spraying chemicals in the sky. But they think they figured it out. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in divine creation. And so they think they're in control. And so they look at this like we're basically on a lifeboat. Planet Earth is a lifeboat, and space is the ocean. And we have limited resources. So it's like, oh, if you had to ration things on a lifeboat, and you had to make decisions on a lifeboat, and if the lifeboat only holds 30 people, but you've got 60 people, well, okay, what do you do? So that's how they look at this whole thing. That's their logic. Planet Earth is a lifeboat in space, and it has limited capacity and limited resources. So they're just taking matters into their own hands and not telling anyone right off the Georgia Guidestones. They're going to kill you and ration the resources of those that are left. And they'll use all kinds of different excuses, and they just brag about it with the viruses. They brag about it with the chemtrailing. So once you understand their logic, once you understand their driving force, their motivating theories, everything else makes sense. And they really don't even hide it. All right. Lines are filled